Recording in progress.
Okay. Oh, one more thing. This is just an example. Now, are there any, or we should have.
Brandon Damon,
And who's,
that's it.
oh,
The
okay,
other one is the SIO stream.
an example. Yeah, it's an example from Andrea regarding the lemon. Yeah.
Did you add Brandon as a
He-
participant?
Oh, Jessica.
And then I just did that too.
Oh, okay.
I think you had me in as well.
Will you be able to let people in?
I don't know.
They'll have to do it from over here. But I didn't let anybody in, so it must be, it's set up as a webinar. But you shouldn't have to let anybody in. You just have to promote the panelist if that's what you want.
Well, will they be, we have to, if they want to speak, then we have to do what?
I mean, it depends where they're at, they should depend on you themselves. So there's no attendees right now, it's just as Brandon and then me as the host.
Okay, yeah, Brandon will need to contribute. Okay. Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
Well, welcome to the Operations Committee for LASA. It's September 11th, 2 p.m., a little bit after. So we'll call this meeting to order. Is it 2:06? Oh, yes, and if somebody could begin taking notes for the minutes until Ryan arrives, that would be, everybody looks down. Will you be able to, Andrea?
I'm working on it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And read my handwriting.
I'll go ahead with it, call the order, if you could keep track of who's present. Well, I'm here, present. April will be here shortly, but Dorney? Here. Harms,
Present.
Fisher,
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Now there's Daryl and Wishton, but what, I'm sorry. But
Daryl said he couldn't make it.
could not, yeah, and then what, Washenko? I think her first name's Lisa.
Is she on Zoom?
Well, now I know there's the three HOAs and you have a representative from each,
We did,
or,
we had one from North Delhi Hills that evening.
Oh, okay.
We may have another one, but that would be good.
okay, maybe, all right, I will just remove her. I saw her name in the past, I think in the email.
Francine was the one that was coming from North Delhi Hills sometimes. I haven't seen her in a long time.
Okay, then we'll just mark that off, just ignore it. Well, now is the time for public comments, and members of the public can speak up to 5 minutes on any item on the agenda. And we have nobody present, and I, check.
There's no one on Zoom. I don't.
No,
Just the three of us, the three.
still, okay, all right. I provided you a copy of the June 13th meeting minutes, the draft, and I do have one correction. Members present. And that was back in June. I know I was here.
I was here.
Lewis was here. I was not.
Jeff, you were here.
No.
Okay, and then, who is the, oh, Ryan was here,
Ryan was here,
and I believe Jessica was here.
Jessica was here,
I mean, she's not a member, but,
she was here though. And Matt Jane was here,
at the operations.
yeah, he responded to
Oh, right, okay,
Andrea Rosen.
so, but also present.
And Mike Delangelo was in the audience. He didn't participate though. He was in the audience for a while.
Right, okay, okay, attorney Matt Jane.
It's like Brandon Damon and Andy Coon.
Wow, that was so long ago, but it wasn't.
And,
There were three from, definitely.
F and B, yeah, James Green was there too.
Jane, okay.
That's wonderful.
Okay. I think we have everybody. All right, so that's the only thing that, as far as corrections that I noticed. Anybody else?
Yeah, read through it.
Okay. Everyone else set?
Sorry, just read slow.
Oh, okay, just let us know.
You could add to bid out a biosolids contract after fall hall.
Where are you?
On the last page, discussion about biosolids was had and the consensus was to bid out the biosolids college contract. And it was after the last hall.
Oh, after last April, right? Okay.
That's my only comment.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion passes 5-0. Okay, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 6? We only have 6?
I think so,
That's unusual to have even number.
to have an even number, well, there's 7, because
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
isn't Neil on this?
Is Neil a member?
Neil's still a member.
Okay, maybe that's why, because I've never seen him before, so he attends on Zoom.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, he's in his nineties now. So he doesn't get out much.
Okay. All right, well, let's just move on. There's communications, as you know, I just, provided them to you, and one of them. One had questions. Where did it go? Yeah, here it is, from Rob Pattinson, I haven't read through it, so I apologize. You know what, and that's the other, I wanted to, upload the shared duties and concerns from. Oh, it was an email from
From Bob Center, yes.
Bob.
Rob Patterson kind of falls under, one of the things we're discussing later.
The manhole.
Yeah, manholes, and same with, and, it was quite charming that once upon a time, that Neil held a operations meeting at the water plant, wastewater treatment plant. That place is pretty small. You wouldn't fit many
Yeah.
people in there.
That's right, he did say, a tour. I was going to include his email in the board packet. I think I did that, but. All right. Yeah, so Rob talks about a one-way valve at each home. An option to prevent backflow into the basement. Is there such a thing for, I know there is for
It's
some
actually called a backflow preventer.
backflow.
Yeah, and if you have a backflow preventer, it needs to be maintenance to keep it working.
Well, there's some question about whether or not, if you have your floor drains hooked to the sanitary, most of the time, they don't do that anymore because one, it can back up, and two, it's sending water down, fresh water down to be treated. So they've gone, a lot of places, they've gone to elimination of those kind of taps. They're not supposed to be in existence anymore. Most of the time, because you end up treating way more sewage that's not sewage, it's fresh water. So most of the stuff that has those kind of things, when you have floor drains and things like that, that are supposed to get water, especially if the floor drains are hooked to your perimeter drains around your house, that's groundwater. That's supposed to be pumped out to the surface. It's just like somebody's sump pump. If somebody had a sump pump, it's not supposed to be hooked to a sanitary either. And yeah, backflow preventers should be on pretty much anything that can bring stuff back into your basement.
I think there is some code requirements for that in
Yeah.
different spots, right?
But older houses may not have it, and the problem is you get people that develop or do construction in their basements and they hook up their drains and they do it themselves and don't tell anybody, or just hook it up to the sanitary,
Okay,
because that's the way to get stuff out. Especially if you've got a lift pump or something. So I mean, it's a good question, but how do you figure out how many of the houses have it unless you have some kind of program? And most of the time, people need to get a plumber in to find out.
yeah, and then that would be up to the
That
homeowner.
would be
wouldn't
Is
it?
that
the cross connection
responsibility?
program.
Probably begins at the road.
Or at the main line, yeah,
Hey, yeah, it's like,
you know,
they've got roots in their drain in their front yard, that's kind of on them,
Oh,
and that can cause backup.
with it,
And check valves, not gonna help you in that case too much.
yeah, that's true, but so the backflow preventer would be part of LASA.
It'd be part of the
System.
homeowners.
That'd be the homeowner's thing, 'cause it has to be in.
It's their
on the
plumbing.
drain.
Okay,
Well, it can be on the main.
you know. And it's pretty much, when you see them, they're pretty much just a flap thing.
check valve, right?
Yeah, that goes one way, and then when it gets pressure the other way, it shuts it. That's all it does.
so that would be up to the homeowners to install that if they wanted it. It's,
I
They
mean,
should have it.
If Lass's gradient ever got so high that it was above the basement,
Yeah,
That'd be kind of a different story, but I don't
Right.
know if that situation exists for any of the houses.
yes.
From a case by case situation, right? If you're above the road, you're unlikely to have that case. If you're.
Yeah,
below-
right, I mean, cause the pipe's gotta be,
I mean, it may be something that, in our publications, we send something out to say, you should check to make sure that you have a backflow preventer and that, you know, certain things, and just talk about whether or not they're hooked up to the sanitary with their sump pumps or.
I think we might want to review the plumbing code to make sure that we're
Yeah.
not saying something.
Yeah, well, absolutely, absolutely.
The plumbing code, SIOS,
Right, I know,
yeah,
I know, but
so,
Say that again, Andrea?
so we follow SIOS plumbing code. That's part of,
Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
so if it's, you know, in SIOS code, then, you know, we're supposed to follow it.
Right,
Yeah, and I don't.
we have to look into it.
Yeah,
Building codes. Plain and simple.
well, then that would, we don't have a building department, but,
No.
yeah, okay, well,
That's-
that's,
Then it's washed out.
all right, just making notes here, all right. Okay, well, and then we're gonna talk about manholes and all of that. All right, so on to operations engineering, Ted, I know you have some things to report or discuss.
yeah, let me get it back up here. Water tower, that was the first time, that's correct. So we received one bid on Tuesday for $126,000. And that included the interior, exterior painting and the miscellaneous repairs. The budget that we have in the CIP is at least 150,000. I say at least because the email I have from Jake from June shows a bigger number in that, so. Either case, we have one bid, I guess one was received late. Hence the story that we discussed. And at this point, I think, you know, in discussions with Dixon, Tom Rounds of Dixon, the contractor, I think is LNC is the contractor that we have the bid from. They've done a lot of work. They're happy with those guys. It was competitively bid, even though we had one bid. I think we should move forward with that as a recommendation.
Okay, 126,000.
Yes, and I don't know schedules or anything like that.
Okay.
We would work those things out as we went forward. So.
Are there any miscellaneous expenses that could come up that would be beyond 126?
There is always contingencies needed, right? You know, you don't know what you don't know until you uncover it, so. In this case, I think the biggest issue was the altitude valve. And you can see most of this stuff, right? They inspected it so that you can see most of it, so. Some reasonable contingency makes sense.
I think it's viable. I mean, it got bid out to multiple agencies. We got two back. How many did it go out to, Ted, do you know? And it was posted locally, I think.
It was not posted locally. We elected to have Dixon submit it to their list of contractors, right? We don't really mean, this is a painting contract and there's X amount of painters and it's kind of like why he blasted to everybody,
Right.
so. I think he sent it out to 8 or 10 guys, different contractors. I say guys, different contractors.
Sure.
And, you know, he was expecting 4 and we got 1.5, I guess, so.
I think it's viable. We sent it to more than generally is required. I mean, they say 3 or 4 is required, regardless of how many you get back, and it sounds like it's within the parameters of what we were looking at, so.
It was, I mean, from my perspective, it was competitively bid, right? I mean, that guy wasn't putting a price that he thought he got the job by himself, so.
And it's a known contractor that's not, there aren't any concerns.
And from Dixon, no.
Yeah.
Known with Dixon, cause I don't know those guys, it's known with Dixon.
this other one come and inspect and everything, or they just threw a number?
It came in the mail.
So, but you said the other guy inspected before their bid?
So Dixon Engineering is a.
Oh, Dixon did it, not the.
Yes, they're the subconsultant that does like all the tanks in the state, right? And so they did the inspection report and that's.
So they got the report.
Yeah.
Part of the package.
Sorry.
And how much would a contingency amount be? Would it be around 10,000?
10% a good number.
Oh, 10%, okay. So that's still, I think, we allocated 150,000 for the job
That's
or
Around there.
around there.
Yeah,
we're
so
within
the,
budget.
the numbers we were talking about were 150,000, but when I look at the capital improvement plan that we had in June, that from Jake, we have like 210. So I'm not sure what's real.
Okay, well,
But it would be great if we have 210, because then we have some more money for well house too.
And the bid addressed everything that we had on the,
Yeah, so there was an exterior painting, interior painting, and then they had it broken out with a number of different things, like a mixer, repairing this, repairing that, so it was all broken out, added up.
so we'll just include that in the board packet for the 15th.
I mean, since this was received late, I guess I wouldn't necessarily evaluate it at this point.
No, I just wanted you to know so you could contact them to let them know that they, I don't know how the process works, but
Yeah.
I think we would have, the board would approve the bid and then you contact them.
Okay.
okay, all right, so Ted will. So you're gonna have an addition to your agenda packet.
Yeah.
Two.
And I kind of, I mean, so when I talked to Tom, the letter from Dixon is gonna come for the October 6th meeting, is that still happening?
That's still on the agenda, I think.
October's, I don't have my list.
Yeah,
for
we just
October
looked at that, Jillian. I thought we,
So there's the fifth, the next Monday is the special meeting, correct?
6th. Right, so I,
Then the normal meetings, October
still on my calendar, it's the 6th.
Yeah, so I thought that it made more sense to proceed with the tank on the 6th, just to
Oh.
making everything kind of.
so the bid and everything on the 6th, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I don't, if especially if your agenda's already established.
Yeah,
I don't have the letter from Dixon yet, and I just assume.
I mean,
It also helps us push them into the spring, which I think is what I want to do too.
oh, okay, sure.
Slow play the approvals to get
I
the
mean, did-
schedule we want.
Were they there when you did the opening?
Yes,
Okay, so they knew that they were
yes.
the one. Okay.
Seemed happy.
Hopefully they'll hold the price.
Sorry.
Well, hopefully they'll hold the price.
I mean, based on the rules of the bid, they have to.
Okay,
There's a 60-day bid hold and a year to do the work or something like that. So,
so if they commence in the spring,
yeah, it takes a lot. I mean, yeah,
It'll be nice when it's finished.
Fall if they could do it, but I don't know if they can move that fast. You don't want to be on top of that tower come December.
right. You're always battling. You want to warm up for the paint to stick, and,
Right.
and not to have everyone using every drop of water that we have. So,
Right.
They, go ahead, I guess if, unless there's anything else, we can move on to your next item, well house 2 generator update.
So well house 2 generator, we're sizing and up locating this generator for well house 2. We're gonna also add a VFD. We were out there last week and had to do a little bit more investigation, so we're a little not as far ahead as I wanted to be, but we wanted to make sure we had it right. We're gonna put the VFD on the exterior of the building, on the backside underneath the cover. There's gonna be a new transfer switch and a new generator back behind the building, so. There's some pretty rough stuff inside, like the 120 volt plugs and stuff like that are corroded from chlorine, I think, chlorine gas. So we're gonna add this, call that as a separate price, so like an alternate, so we can either take it in or out of the project. If it's in the budget, great. If it's not, then, well, I guess we won't do it, so. We don't have anything programmed for the water plant generator right now. This is one of the idiosyncrasies, I guess, that I kind of caught based on a conversation with Jillian last week or earlier this week. The capital improvement plan includes $50,000 for generator, for the well house 2 generator, and $100,000 for the water plant. Those numbers should be reversed. The well house has the 2 biggest motors in it. The water plant doesn't, I mean, basically has one small motor that runs the other well, and, I guess my misassumption was that your water plant had bigger electrical loads than your well house. It's backwards in this case, so I don't know that those numbers are, I mean, I think we're gonna push a combination of those two numbers for well house two. So I think well house two is gonna be pushing 150 by time adding the BFD and stuff like that, but, the water plant generator is a small diesel, that's dated. It only runs the well that provides the backwash water, like well one, I think. Is that right, Brandon?
Yes.
Diesel generators are fine, but they just take an additional set of maintenances than over your natural gas, right? Diesel can go bad, you have to keep it full and all that stuff, so. It would be great to put a natural gas generator there, but I think that's something that we can live with pending what happens with well house two. If that makes any sense.
So we've approved those numbers, but they should be reversed. So that's something we should look at it.
Yeah, I mean, the aggregate is probably in the right ballpark, but. Yeah, I don't know, kind of kicking myself for making an assumption and not thinking it through, so.
It's okay. I'll add that to the October 6th, board meeting.
Yep.
First amounts.
Share if I can. So this is the city of Manchester. We also did a SAW program, the Stormwater Asset Management Wastewater Program, where communities were given money to develop asset management plans for their systems. We did a SAW program for Loch, Alpine, and as well as Manchester, and as part of that, we were able to get a surveyor on site and hit every manhole valve, and so we had GIS location data. And we did a bunch of cleaning similar to what we did here. So this is just a picture of what you can get on a GIS system. So like you can get information about a manhole. We have inverts listed, the rim listed, elevation. Like here where we did. We did a bunch of cleaning and televising of these sewers. So you actually get the TV report by going to the point and locating that and clicking on that sewer, and you get the PDF of the report for that. All this is available on a cell phone too. So it's just it's a plan. And there's an application called Field Maps where you log into this and you have the same data. It's just on your cell phone. You can also do measurements and a bunch of other stuff with this that I don't really want to get into the weeds of, but it will give a guy the ability to be, find him, he might not be able to be right on this manhole, but that manhole is going to be close to him, probably wandable if he had a metal detector. So, because your accuracy isn't that great with your cell phone, but you're going to be close, right? And you can at least visually get a representation of where that manhole is. So, how IMEG does this is we help the community get an ArcGIS online subscription on their own, and then populate it for them. So the ArcGIS online prescription is $1,000 depending, or more depending on how many users you want, and it's probably like, I think he said $6,000 to get the data up there usable like this. So, I think there's a lot of benefits to it.
Is there any data other than location data that you can do? I'm sure there is with GIS systems.
We were talking about it a little bit. You could grid this out and, put like boxes behind it and hit that box, and you come up with a sheet of like a list of PDFs of street name or street, projects that are associated with that. So you can do anything. You can get the housing data, you can get addresses, we can have the lot numbers in there. I mean, all that stuff is whatever's available. It's just how much you want to populate it, right? And the more you populate it, the more time it takes. It's just.
Is that a live one, Ted, or is that, Or is that just a screenshot?
This is live.
Click on one. It should pop up with a drop-down menus.
That,
Yeah, so a lot of times what they do is they have multiple page reports that are in those. I did a lot of SAW stuff for water resources. And what happens is when you go out and you locate them, you tend to do an inspection on them at that time. And then the hope is every time you do maintenance on it, then you update that information.
sure, and you can, and there's ways to add the information here. You're asking the wrong guy, some of the technical details of what you can do, but.
They can do reports and
Yeah.
kind of stuff based on that information that you get.
Right, you could, if you maintain a hydrant, you can say I maintained this hydrant on April of 2024, and then there's a record that shows that, right? And not always who did it, because the licensing is somewhat expensive, so you're getting kind of a user license versus, specific licenses, but.
Can, a historical information for each parcel be uploaded? Or is it just when you begin the program?
You can add anything you want. You could put street poles and, it doesn't matter. It becomes a data and a table and a picture. You can do anything you want, basically.
So you said it's 6,000 to launch?
It's probably be like an $8,000 investment, plus or minus, to launch this, including the licensing and getting the data to the cloud.
I think it's worthwhile looking into. And part of the reason is, I mean, once you know and you get your videos of stuff and then you find and locate where these things are, this gives anybody out in the field, you can use your phone and locate where stuff is. And you have a more up-to-date thing, because otherwise people are looking at the maps of when that phase was built. And it may be the old map, it may be one that they actually did an as-built. Maybe they didn't. Some of those locations are very hard to find, and if you do this, it actually has GPS coordinates located to it. So it's much more
And
accurate.
if you have personnel changes,
Yeah,
you don't worry about the tribal knowledge of where
Right.
things are.
and people aren't looking at for paper copies that are 50, 70 years old.
That's the same map that's up there on my cell phone.
Yeah, so. And you can print out pages if you're looking at a specific location and find stuff. It's really good for locating things.
Dexter has a GIS system too that,
Yeah.
we can hand out to our workers and.
Yep.
What about, cell phone or internet connection, cell phone connection? Because I've heard there's certain spots that have poor reception.
May be difficult. It may, but it's one of
Kind
those,
of better,
yeah,
like Alpine. Used to be kind of bad areas, but.
a lot of times it
There's still
depends on the tree
bad
cover
spots.
too.
So maybe we could, rent out the top of our tower to,
I
make
think
a
it's
little
our.
money.
See that, or?
No, I,
That's what you get.
It doesn't give you the geolocation because we're in South Township, not Manchester, but.
if we're, embarking on a valve turning program, that would be hugely valuable.
Yeah, absolutely, it would.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely something that we should take under consideration and maybe get, do an RFP for and get quotes to see how much it really would cost.
Yeah.
I can give you a more fine-tuned number for
Yeah.
that.
Please, yeah,
Yeah,
could you have that by the October 6th meeting?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because I'm curious if it's around 8,000 to launch license data, all of that stuff. What is the yearly cost?
It's 700 to 1,000.
Oh, okay,
it's just a licensing cost pretty much for how many users.
There's a setup fee, and then there's just some things that you have to do, and then.
I think that would be, well,
Depends on who's gonna do your programming for your drop downs and all that other stuff. There's some,
We tend to use the kind of, there's a standard, Esri is the kind of the company that backbone of all this stuff. We tend to use their kind of standard stuff and populate it, because it's easy, right?
Esri's been doing it for 30+ years.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my Zoom connection, so.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's past due.
oh yeah, I think it's
There exist tablets out there with this data on there. It's just that it's, it's the technology is 2017, right?
Yeah.
And, it's more static, it's more poor man's than this would be, so.
But it might, if they do have GPS points, it might be useful still. Some of
Oh,
the data.
I have all the
Yeah.
data. I have the data for the manholes and,
Yeah, that should be
yeah,
a good start.
we have the sewer lines. And the water lines, frankly, all, set at different layers, so we, like the 2 inches on a 2-inch layer, the 8 inches on an 8-inch layer, so we have all that stuff delineated. We have some of the material delineated in different
Right.
layers, so.
Okay, that's nice. Anything else, Ted?
I don't think so.
So Ted, you're gonna get more precise numbers and we're gonna talk about that too
Mhm,
in the October meeting.
mhm.
I didn't really want to call it a presentation, Julian, because I didn't really.
Well, it was a presentation. Demonstration, yeah,
Intro,
yeah.
introduction.
Okay, good. Thank you for that.
Ted, can I ask you for October 6th to put in the packet, like, just a couple examples of what those drop downs are, so people can see this is the data that we get and, especially if there's pictures or something associated with a point. Like just one point, doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, to me, one of the great things is the cleaning reports.
Yeah.
The TV reports that you can actually see what's,
Yeah. Just so the rest of the business members can see it. I know exactly what it is.
Right, it's easy to find the sewer on the map. It's not so easy to find the PDF in the list, right? So,
Right. Yep.
So will that be a presentation or a demonstration?
yes. You choose this time.
I think that would be really helpful. Just everything we've talked about, and keeping LASA operations on track, and also it's, good for our customers and residents.
Just a question, Ted, is there, because my background is utility industry distribution, SCADA systems, so are there any big SCADA systems in any major water systems in the country? Where you're actually controlling things remotely, valves or whatever?
To some extent, yes. Okay. So I think, there's a SCADA system that talks between the tower and the water plant at Loch Alpine, and I think that data is mixed with the wastewater plant. There's some control, some not control with that. It kind of depends on the level of the comfort of the guy running the system, how much control he wants to put on. It's nice to be able to turn a pump off. It's not always so smart to turn a pump on, right? So.
Just curious. Thanks.
That's an interesting thought, being able to remotely control things.
No, like it would be
We
good
have
if-
that capability. We actually had some issues with the water tower cell service. We would lose communications with the tower, and I actually had UIS adjust it so that if we lost communications with the tower based on the level, we could remotely turn on one of the wells, or and then get a person there to fix it so that we didn't lose water. So we'd have, if we overfill the tower, I'm not mad. If I underfill the tower, then we don't want to have a boil water situation. So I'd rather overfill than underfill. So it bought us some extra time to get there and figure out what was going on. And most of the time it was just a communication with AT&T or Verizon internet service issues. But those have, knock on wood, those have been minimal this year.
Okay, good. Any other questions for Ted? No. All right, Brandon, you're next. I'm going to make you bigger. At least try, or disconnect you, one or the other.
Brandon, if you get disconnected, that doesn't mean you're done.
No, I'll try to log back in.
There we go. Look better? Yeah. Okay. Hi, Brandon.
Hi. Don't have a lot of general operational updates. We did get our phosphorus under control. We did have some issues with phosphorus at the wastewater plant. That's under control now. I've not gotten any emails saying, hey, your phosphorus is high. It's actually been really behaving itself. There are some pictures that you guys have of a leaking valve at Green Nook and West Loch Alpine. Thank you, Andrea, for calling me on that one. Over the last couple of years, that valve, it might leak, and then we drive by, check it again. We've made some adjustments and tweaked it a little bit, and it stops leaking, and then it leaks again. The pictures Colt sent me, I don't think those are the same ones. It was leaking pretty bad. After talking with Jillian, I got a hold of Excavators Inc. They went out and took a look at it and kind of gave me a ballpark number because it's possible to repair the valve, if they expose it and repair it. But his suggestion is to go in and approach this as replacement of that valve. And if they expose it and say hypothetically they can repair it, because I think it's an 8-inch, then we would potentially even have a spare 8-inch valve, which we don't have. We need one of those. But he said that the cost is about the same to repair it or replace it. So he's recommending replace it, and he's looking at. He said about less than 10,000 to do it, but I would say less than 15,000 because we don't know how much overtime F&V would have involved in it potentially, and what other contingency we might run into. So I would hope we could come in like 10,000 or less.
I've been looking at it every day I go home. It's leaking pretty steadily right now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's varying between, like 6 inches to, about 3 or 4 feet away from the valve. It's still minor. I really wish we knew about this when they got up the road, because that road was redone in this spring, and I think this spring, when they redid the road, that's probably when things got worse.
Oh, was it leaking before they did the road?
On and off. Now it's leaking steadily.
Okay, so it's not because of the road, it's.
I don't know if it has to do with the asphalting, but that's the only thing that's happened all summer was that they put a fresh coat of asphalt on itself.
Which reminds me, we had a conversation about,
Right.
when connecting with LAIA. So when they're going to do a road, improvement, that to contact us so we know what they're doing and we can keep track of the manholes. That's one thing, but then
And the
if
valves.
they have any, if they have
Right.
any, or if they see any issues. Or if we want to replace something before they do the road, that would be ideal, of course. Okay, Andrew, when is your next?
LAIA meeting.
Yeah, you just had one
September.
with,
Yeah, the one was last night. So the next one will be the second Tuesday of the month.
could you remember to, or add that to your list to bring up to them?
Okay.
Um,
Bob Sender is planning on attending Monday. He can,
oh, okay, good,
he's gonna be attending by Zoom now.
that's fine.
Brandon, would you be looking at just replacement of the valve box or an actual manhole be put in here?
Valve box. He was quoting it for the valve box, D-box all the way up with a valve and everything. Which
Are
is
you guys-
a pretty good price.
Do you guys pump it out to see how long it takes to fill? See if you can see where it's leaking? I mean, is this a leak on I mean, we have no idea if it's a leak on the top or where it joins with the pipe, right?
Yeah, because it's in a D box, there's no way to really tell. No matter
Right.
whether you pumped it out or not, there's no way to tell without excavating the thing and finding it out. But I was just looking at the map. It's an 8-inch, I think it's valve 77. It's an 8-inch valve. So, which with past experience, it'll be the southern half of Loch Alpine that would be on a boil when we replace it. But a planned boil is better than a emergency.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And how far in advance would you let the parcel owners know? And it,
It all depends, I guess, what Steve's schedule is and when we can
Okay.
schedule it, but we can let them know a week in advance if we want,
okay,
or more.
Longer than a week, they might forget about it.
Exactly.
that's true. Okay. Well, I believe if I remember correctly, in the capital improvement or the budget, we have repair and maintenance, and I believe we have 20,000 for each water and sewer, but can't spend any more after that. No. We'll double check that though, because we're gonna have to bring this to the board.
Mhm.
And just kind of an update on lead and copper. I got 2 more sets of results, all good results today. That gives me 13 sets of results. But we have Colt and I were counting. I think we're up to 17 total. There's 5 more, I think, going to the lab this week. So that should drive our 90th percentile down, because we had a resident not take a sample properly and found an elevated level of lead. So the problem is it's up to the state to throw those out. We can't throw it away, even though he told us that he didn't take the sample properly. We have to use it as a valid result. So we did resample his house, and I think that's in the pile of ones to go to the lab. So
I'll cross my fingers.
me too.
So how many do we have right now, including the 5 you're sending to the lab?
Total of 17.
A total of 17, so we need 3 more.
I'd like to get 3 more. I'd like to get at least 3 more. That way we have a few extra. And we have till September 30th. So that's kind of been Colt's. Colt was going to be here tonight. I'll apologize for him. He had an emergency come up, but he is going to plan on Monday, so you guys can meet him. It'll probably be Zoom, but
Fine.
he's been concentrating on that. I told him to concentrate on getting the lead and copper finished, and then we're gonna this winter. Michael's got a whole bunch of work orders for us for water meters, and then we're gonna start plugging away at those water meters once we meet our deadline on our lead and copper. So
Great. Yeah, thank you. So we had a conversation the other day about the lead and copper sampling and the instructions, and it's different. I've done the program here in SIO, but I have municipal water. It's not we don't have hot water, no, we don't have, what is it, softeners, water softeners? At least I don't. So there's nothing to bypass. However, in Loch Alpine,
The water's quite hard.
yes, and
Most people have water softeners. There are a few who don't, but it's most everybody has a water softener.
yeah, so you would have to bypass that in order to have a sample. And Andrea, we had a conversation too, that every water softener is different, or depending on the company that you have and how to bypass that.
Yeah,
And
they're
that-
required to have a bypass, but it doesn't have to be the same. So There are quite a different kinds.
Yeah, and I just trying to figure out how to avoid, because the one resident had called his water softener company and they said, oh, just take it from the tap outside, and you can't do that. And that's what drove up the numbers, and I was thinking, well, how could we make this easier for residents? And there, I guess it really isn't a way other than to say, to follow the instructions, and if you need help, please contact.
Yeah, I have at Dexter, I go through my usual checklist of, call them up, ask them if they've done any, work on their plumbing. If they've done, I'm not gonna give them a pass, for that year. I ask them, can you take the sample, what's the latest thing that's new? Remind them of what you're supposed to be doing.
Or ask them
It's-
if they know how to operate
They're
bypass.
right, yeah, if they need help, they can get, we can come and get help from them. Athletic copper
That's-
is such a trial, it really is.
Yeah.
That's actually what Colt has been doing is he's been knocking on doors, and when he gets residents that answer, on my list anyway, and he actually asks them, do you need it? Are you willing to take the sample? Are you willing to bypass your softener? And do you need help? And if he's actually, last week he said he was in 4 or 5 houses actually helping them bypass their softeners for them. And then then goes back and does, undoes it for them. So, because the residents have been great, wonderful to work with. He actually had a guy chasing him down the street trying to give him a sample. So,
And do you sample the same houses every year?
You're supposed to, but that's very, very hard.
mhm.
And usually it's really hard to keep the same number of houses because, people have lives and vacations and, their plumbing breaks and then they're off the list for the year and things happen. You try to keep them the same, but
And it's so illogical, if you can't understand it or explain it in a way that they understand it, right? I mean, it's, what we're doing is kind of head scratching sometimes too.
yeah, the rules keep getting obscurer every year. They keep getting more complicated.
Well, I think this is good that there's 20 this year, because next year, if we only need 10, you're gonna have a bigger list that you can knock on the door and hopefully they answer.
Oh, I have a list of about 109 from when we did it a couple years ago, and that list stays running. That list doesn't change. We have to keep that, and we add to it unless well, there's one house, the house that was on fire on Prospect. They've redone all their interior plumbing. Say that house then will come off the list. That just happened to be on the old list that still qualified. So because they're redoing all their interior plumbing, they just come off the list. It's the only way
Okay.
to remove them.
Wow, I didn't know, realize
That's
you
the
did
lead
that.
and copper sample plan is what he's talking about. You're supposed, there's different tiers for the lead copper sample plan. And the priority, of course, is for lead services. We have no lead services. Then it comes, and
Tier 3s.
and then tier 3s, which is copper before 1988. And then everything else is other. And they keep juggling the categories, like a galvanized previously connected to lead keeps changing categories as they keep changing their mind about how this is supposed to be filled out. So every year, we wait and see what they're gonna change, this year for lead and copper.
When does the lead and copper testing season begin?
It's June through September 30th for single year people. And if you're on biennial, it's, January to June, to July, and then July to December. When we had the violations in 2023, we ended up on a twice a year, to get out for the extra sampling, so we could get back to regular sampling once a year.
Wow. Wow. It sounds like a big job, and don't look forward to it. Okay, Brandon, was there anything else?
One thing that reading here that reminded me, I had a communication with Jason Freeman. We talked that Eagle wanted us to have a contingency plan for the biosolids. And I know Ted and I had talked with Jason Freeman from Chelsea because that was what they had as their contingency plan, but they wanted something in writing. And back in, well, June, he'd emailed me back with a draft agreement. But it still he was waiting on the city attorneys for Chelsea to look at it. And I have not heard back from him. I will email him and see if he's got any updates on this for us.
Okay, thank you.
Chelsea's had some management turnovers as well, so. The city manager changed out, there's an interim guy there now.
Yeah, there's,
That would happen about that same time frame that Brandon.
oh, okay. Yeah, Mark Thompson is there. He was our interim at one point. He's wonderful for Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet him next week, so.
Okay, yeah, he's great. He'll get it done, whatever we need.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, Brandon, anything else?
Not at this time.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. It's
No
been,
problem.
seems like we're just keeping everything right on track and moving along.
I do my best.
Thank you. All right, well, yeah, don't take off though, still.
Nope.
Okay, good. Here it is. Oh, I just noticed there's no numbers on. So upcoming projects, so, biosolids removal bids, so. We had the bit of an issue with NutriGrow,
Yes.
right? And then somebody, I don't know where the idea came from about going out for bid. There's only two other companies. Was it you?
Biotech and, Biotech Agronomics, and the other one is,
BCA.
ECA, yeah.
ECA, okay.
I've actually not had they're doing Brighton Township. They're having some troubles up there, but they seem to be on top of it. Or at least trying to be.
Anyways, have you finished hauling? So we can put this out to bid, or you
I-
wanna hold off?
Believe so, yes. They were there last week. So, yeah, because I was just looking at the contract here. It was 2025 so either way, if we put out a bid and we say we hypothetically needed to haul before, in November before the winter season, NutriGrow's still obligated, so we should be able to. We're almost 95% done. I don't see us needing to haul again.
And when was the last time we went out for bid?
In 2023. No, it was before then, but this contract started in 2023.
And the contract is for 2 years?
3,
3.
23 through 25.
Hmm. So,
It's good through December 31st, 2025.
okay.
There it is.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to go out to bid. And I think that maybe that would, with NutriGrow, they either step up and
Based on unless he's updated his fuel surcharge stuff, more than likely he'll be higher. And BCA, my experience with BCA, they're not charging a fuel surcharge. They're a little bit more expensive, but they don't charge that fuel surcharge, which can get kind of dicey.
Yeah, Biotech has a full charge, flow charge, fuel charge.
Yeah.
Biotech are gonna have to use the full charge. Dexter uses, Biotech. We've been using them for years. We're quite happy with them.
They're really good, I will say. Their paperwork is definitely better than Nutrigrow.
So would, how would this work? Of course, I think the board would have to approve this. But, let's say they did, and how do we go about, putting bids? Would that be Ted's job?
I can send out an email to all three of them, you know, asking for a price for, we typically haul 3 times a year. It's about 40,000 gallons each haul, 3 times a year. They'll probably want to come look at it, and we can get the pricing together, and I'd share it with you guys and go from there.
Okay,
That's more of an operational thing.
no, I was teasing, actually. Let's, Brandon, let's work on an agenda item for October 6th then. Is that,
Okay.
or would that be?
I don't know if they'll have the bids back to me, but I can at least reach out to them. They'll probably want some time, you know. I mean, we can't haul, technically we cannot haul biosolids after, I believe it's December 21st, 20th or 21st or something like that.
Without a special waiver.
Yep, without a special waiver. So, I mean, we're pretty much at the end of our hauling season. Nutrigrow is obligated to finish up, so it's not a bad idea to do that. And then we have do we have a meeting in January?
We haven't set our schedule for the next year yet, that
But like-
October 6th, we're going to.
Typically,
Yeah,
Yeah,
First meeting.
yeah. Well, with the potential changes, that's. Okay, I have it down as, another agenda item, so we'll work on that. Is that acceptable to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, as, the next thing, the valve turning program, there's some certain things, the valve turning, the, sewer cleaning, televising, and then also manhole, inventory, that type of thing, but that's relatively easy and inexpensive.
I
compared
would
to-
say that we have all the manholes captured. At this point in time.
There's one that's covered though.
We had it captured at one point in time.
Yeah, so you have the inventory, everything's on the,
We have a GPS location of that.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, somebody needs to uncover the one on East Loch Alpine below Prospect Court.
He's
Brandon,
not
would
talking
F and B
about-
do that?
We probably can.
Or do you want Excavators Inc. doing a neater job?
We can do that.
Sorry, what did you say, Andrea? I heard-
Well, it's pretty easy to, there's always just taking a big sledgehammer to it, but you wanna do a neat job when you cut that out.
Is it found? I mean, taking a sledgehammer to it only works if you see it. If it's underneath an inch and a half of asphalt, it's not gonna work.
It's.
You're gonna have to have somebody cut it.
But they kind of do a rock and tar
They're doing chip seal.
application, so it's just, unless it's a different area,
It's on the hillside it's by the lower lake on East Loch Alpine. And Tom Belisario told me about it, that, there was an arc on the hillside of the road, in the concrete. And I told Jillian, and Jillian told Brandon, and, he went out with a metal detector. It is, one of the manholes.
so you think it might be down.
So it's down under the it's down under the asphalt. You can see the outline, with the crack that's there, on the side of the road.
So it's under asphalt. It's not chip seal.
It's not chip seal, it's asphalt.
Okay. So I mean, you can't just do cold patch after you carve it all out. I mean,
Yeah,
You'll need a
It's gonna
road
have to
person
be-
to,
there's more to it than that.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna have to be done right.
So it's more than chipping it off, chip seal off of it.
yeah, sounds that way.
Yeah. It sounds like it's gonna need probably to be cleaned off, the asphalt gotten rid of and a ring put in it to raise it up.
And it's gonna get bigger than just the manhole.
No, it doesn't have to be. If you can clear out the
Oh, you can
manhole.
bring it up.
So there's an actual ring insert that will fit inside of them.
So you
That
have some-
Road Commission uses them to raise stuff up instead of actually cut out and raise up the ring. But, yeah, I mean, your other option is cut it out, raise up the ring, pour concrete around it. It's not,
They're doing streets in my neighborhood, they're doing that, they pave over all the manholes on purpose, then they come back with a machine that has like a big.
it's a drum
like a
cutter.
4-foot circle and cuts it out, pour concrete on top of it.
Hmm.
Okay, well, I'd like to know, LAIA, do they have, when they do this stuff in their contracts, do they have it in there that these contractors are supposed to keep those clear and clean?
Yes, they're supposed to keep them clear and clean, but somebody has to go and inspect
Well,
afterwards.
no, I
Yeah,
agree,
yeah.
so is nobody inspecting it? That's the
So,
question.
you know, and it's LAI, we're supposed to be, coming by and making sure our stuff is actually clear. Cause, we're responsible for, water and sewer. They're just doing the roads. It's it's supposed to be cooperative here, yeah.
Well, when the asphalt company, whomever they use, are they provided a map or
They-
LAIA has
They
it?
know it.
Well,
You can't miss them.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Normally they put a cleaner on top of it if it's just gonna be seal coat. They put something on top of it that's a release agent and they can clean them right off if they do it right. A lot of times they're
They're in a hurry.
yeah,
they're in a hurry and they're going over it and they leave it
And
and,
you get flagged the side.
Yep.
After they go through, if you don't see it there, it's like.
Right. right. So I mean, it sounds like there needs to be communication between the two and obviously, we need to know when those programs are going and what their schedule is.
does LAIA have a map of the manholes?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so what is the protocol after it's,
Well, we talked to Bob Sandra. He's the head of the road commission, he does the road committee at LAIA.
okay, so next meeting, you said he's going
He's
to
got to
attend.
be here on
We-
Monday,
we need
not
to
by
work-
Zoom,
We need to work out some type of plan.
right?
Yeah, okay, so going back to the manhole that's covered now. What do we do about that? Well, I look at Ted and there's a glare off the truck over there, I look at Andrea and there's a glare off a car, so I apologize, just. moving around.
Well, I think we know it's there. We get Excavators Inc. to uncover it. If they can, I mean, it sounds like it's gonna take. I'm guessing just a hand tool, small jackhammer or hammer drill to do it, but the bottom line is and maybe Excavators Inc. has some better ideas. I mean, otherwise, if you cut, you're gonna have to replace. So if they can use a hammer drill and maybe if they know where the outline is and start working it out, they should be able to get it, but like you said, it's gotta raise up or else you're gonna have a drop in the road that you're gonna be hearing about, so. We don't know how thick the stuff is, so we need to find that out. I think Excavators Inc. needs to go look at it. Brandon, ideas?
I agree. We can have them look at it. If you don't mind, I can share real quick if Andrea can tell me specifically which manhole. And I can confirm it if I can do this.
East Black Alpine by the lower lake.
Yep, Prospect Court is right here.
Yeah, it's about halfway down the one, that one, the one you got the pointer on.
SO2 or
Yeah.
02.
Mhm.
Okay. I will we'll get that looked at and get Excavators Inc. to look at that. Because if we do the valve, he probably ain't gonna charge you much to do that. He probably do it while everything's on site.
Okay,
So
would they do the work to raise or whatever that is?
Yeah.
It depends on how thick it is. If it's small, you're probably all right leaving it. If it's, you know, when I say small, if it's like a quarter inch, you wouldn't want to go any more than a quarter inch. It's not ideal. Ultimately, you want it higher, but you're hoping at that point they're covering it by an inch or something. In which case you can get a ring probably to insert to raise it.
Brandon, would F and B, I know it probably out of scope, but would, depending on the thickness, if we had to get a ring or,
it's kind of out of scope. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's out of scope. And I mean, probably better to have Excavators Inc. do it because they may, depending on, there's a lot of factors
whole
plays
thing?
into it.
okay,
Yeah,
I see. I misunderstood. I thought they would only dig it up and not do the rest, but
there's other companies that can do it too if they don't want to, that we
Okay.
can talk about, but.
Well, yeah, they already did one for us on Whitman Circle down towards the end where the new house is getting built. There's one of those concrete trucks drove over the manhole, kept flipping it over because the ring was broke, so it wasn't holding it in, and they replaced the ring for us.
oh, okay. Well, could you inquire, see how much that would be, please?
Yep.
Okay. Um. Well, I guess
We got the M&K quote for, doing the. Go ahead, sewer cleaning. That was, you told me that was, Brandon, that was. 50,000?
I have to look again.
Oh,
It's been a
Here, I
while
can
since they
have
sent
it.
it to me.
I have it in here.
It-
I thought it was around 52,000?
I think so.
So trying to bring that down, there's always pulling manholes and looking at them, while it's dry and then while it's wet and see if we see any trouble spots and make that the place that we want to clean. Or where we want to start. Is that out of scope for you to go pull manholes?
Yeah, that's out of scope. Well, approximately. Just reading their proposal, trying to
Yes.
$3.
Yeah, 52,875. Does anybody want to?
So
Right, yeah, I got it last time.
Yeah,
So anyways, we could cut this down to what we did in the CIP plan by reducing the amount that we're gonna clean this year. But it'd be good to do something cheap, to find which area, in the old part, the oldest part of Maine, do some spot checking and see if you can, see where we want to spend, the capital this year or next year, find an area by pulling the manholes and see what the condition in there is.
Brandon, could you
sorry.
inquire, could you inquire how much it would be for F and B to pull manholes?
Because that's
I mean, if it's
usually
not a
pretty
scope-
easy, it's 15 minutes to, pull a manhole.
Yeah, well, it'd be on a time and materials basis. I mean, we're
Right.
there 4 hours a day. So it would be the extra 4 hours of the rest of the day. I'd have to just check on staffing. I know in your contract, I think it spells out what our out of scope charge is per hour. I'd have to check on what that is, but yeah, we can do that.
And Ted gave me the SESS for the sewer back in 2004. That had to, I mean, that has some great guidance about how they had divided the Loch Alpine into regions to look at infiltration in the different spots. That was, you know, a good read, you know, and it kind of gives us a good blueprint, you know, for doing infiltration from now on, because we basically have the same system. We can use the same way they were, you know, trying to eliminate areas for infiltration using the same report. They had basically broke all of Loch Alpine in different regions, and they were using manhole checks. And then after they established the manhole checks, they got some inline flow monitoring, you know, to check regions and and to determine how much infiltration was coming in. And then from there, they, you know, basically sent cleaners out and, you know, went for repairs in the system to reduce the infiltration numbers. So, you know, it's basically, you know, there's no reason why we can't use that as a blueprint going on for infiltration.
Now, who has that blueprint?
It was, yeah,
It was,
he has it,
SSES stands for Sanitary Sewer Evaluation Study or something like that.
yes.
And it was done in 2007, 2008 as part of the expansion or the equalization basin for the wastewater plant, to demonstrate that that was needed.
What do you think about that?
I don't find it to be such a good read.
Well, no, it's not a great read, but it does, we could still use the same
Sure.
blueprint they brought out,
Right.
you know, to
It
figure out.
certainly, it certainly will lay out
infiltration.
a methodology to do what they did, you know, look at the manholes and stuff like that. It would be interesting to kind of like mine Dave Rulig's old records to see where they kind of ended cleaning and look at that. I know some of the stuff has been lined already, and I think we have that captured, but I don't have the right map in front of me, so. But it's,
Right.
just take a little research project for a few hours to kind of. put
Right,
together
and
a
find
plan.
out where we need to concentrate
Yeah.
on things.
Right,
Ted, could you do that,
yes.
please?
Yeah, I think it's a good question to look at what's been lined, what hasn't. I'm a firm believer of TV. Especially.
I believe in TV too.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if you know that it's not lined and you're gonna do, cleaning anyways, and depending upon the cleaning and depending upon what your pipe is, then you follow up right away with TV and slow TV, not, I mean, and I saw one of the things in here, I think it was Brandon said that we should go for per foot as opposed to per day. One of the thing, I run into issues with contractors doing that, and they zip down the lines and you don't see anything. Because they get more money the faster they go. And and you have to sit there and watch them when
But
they're
that's,
doing it.
but if they do the PACP coding, there's a
Yeah.
certain protocol that they have to do.
Yeah, if they're doing the PACP, but sometimes they still zip a little bit.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that takes having that coded, which when I popped up that report, that was a
Yeah.
PACP coded report, so
Yeah.
like there's like I don't know what that exactly means, but they're basically rating cracks and infiltration and vapors, and they're kind of calling this stuff out as they go down and noting it, so you get like a one-page report, which keeps all of us from having to watch those movies, right?
You don't like
Yes.
this stuff?
Well, I mean, if it takes an hour to run the camera down the TV,
No, I
down
agree.
the thing, it's an hour that someone's spending doing it, right?
I agree. Yep.
And he can, if he's coding it, he's focusing on
He should
what
be.
he needs to code.
That's correct.
Anyways, yes, I do want sewer coating. I just want, it'd be nice to just not pick a random place in Loch
No,
Alpine
I-
to start.
I agree.
Yeah, right. I mean, the methodology of breaking it down into chunks, right?
Right,
So,
and then we can we could move it around.
Okay, so to begin this process, Ted, and just for clarification, that you'll look at what was it, the sanitary evaluation study as far as the
And
blueprint?
and the SAW grant,
So,
other
okay.
associated things with the sewers see where we were previously.
I mean, and there's you know, when there's known problems of infiltration, you focus on those too, right? So.
Okay, and then after that, we'll decide.
I think we lined a piece on Green Duck Court that was constantly with issues, in the last board iteration, so.
Now, can they do this, cleaning and televising in the winter? Is it seasonal based?
You can, but you run into, and it depends on how much they're cleaning. I don't know if you guys have them suck up what they're putting in or not. If they are, they can run into weight restrictions. It can be problems and freezing.
Oh,
If you're cleaning, the jets can freeze, the water can
oh,
Do you get steaming issues too?
freeze. Steaming, kind of.
Like you get steam, like warm air in the pipes and you obscure the camera. Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
condensing and
kinda.
stuff like that.
Absolutely it can. Not as, I mean, the camera's not so bad, and as a matter of fact, for TVing, it's not a bad thing, because most of the time, you don't have, as long as you don't have to flush, you can do TVing in the winter, as long as you can find them. You know, you're not talking about snow, but you can do TVing because the flow's usually less because stuff is frozen. You're not getting as much infiltration or as water coming into it, but.
But is that a good thing? You don't see the weepers then?
No, that's the other thing. Yeah, when you're looking for weeping, or infiltration, you need to see it.
well, if we, begin here with the blueprint, so to speak. And we have a lot of other things going on, but,
Right.
we could begin this in the spring, you think?
I think that would make more sense than
Yeah.
doing it
Yeah.
now. When we did the SAW program, we kind of, I don't know if they sucked everything out, but we kind of started at the ends and pushed towards the downhill points, right? So we weren't pushing it back, we were pushing it down.
Pulling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they use jet routers? The jet routers, it wasn't like chain cutters or anything like that, right?
I think it was mostly jet routers.
Okay.
There's a few
And
protruding
the
leads
jet
in
routers.
there.
And
Just-
they use video crawlers for, video.
Well, then we do the cleaning and televising, and if there's an issue,
And we'll get the report, and then you can use those reports to, basically structure your maintenance, ongoing. You see if, we can get that report and we'll see what the condition of the main is, and then we can basically stick it on where, figure out where it should be on the repair list. Hopefully, we can just knock it down, the problem down and, do some spot repairs. And eventually, your lines are going to hit the age where there's gonna have to be a project done to line them, but you try to do what you can, keep it small while you can.
Well, you hope you line them all before they get to
Yes.
that point.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
is lining expensive?
Pretty much. Cheaper than.
Lining is cheaper
digging it up.
than the alternative.
They quoted $1 a foot.
Oh, so they have lining on there?
Well,
No, that's just for cleaning and doing the coating.
okay. For
Wings.
neophyte here.
Okay,
Wings,
that's-
quite a bit
yes.
more
Oh, so,
expensive.
and I figured that's supposed to say coating that.
Coding, yes, no, okay, it's cleaning and televising, $3.50, $3.50 a foot. The PACP coding for additional $1 a foot, that's for,
That's the
work with-
report.
that's the report,
Ah,
so you
so
don't,
it is coating, not coating.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh,
So it's.
And,
okay.
and there's also a surcharge for heavy cleaning,
They're throwing $1 a foot in for PACP,
yes, it did.
in addition to televising costs, or just,
No,
It was $3.50 for televising plus $1 for.
for the report, $1 a foot for the report. Do you want to, yeah, otherwise, we're gonna be we're gonna be asking Ted to look at all that.
How much do you charge? 50 cents a foot?
I'm gonna charge more than that. I can tell you that right now.
He doesn't want.
Right. Yes,
I'm not certified in the PACP, and two, I don't have blocks of time like that to handle that.
So they're going with $3.50 a foot to televise, but if you want,
But I
the
think it was
report,
clean and
it's
televised.
$4.50.
If you want it coded with PACP, it's $4.50. Clean and televised for the $3.50.
clean and televised.
Right, and unless there is, extra heavy cleaning, there's a
Right.
extra heavy cleaning surcharge. For heavy routes.
We were working on a project in Manchester where we were coding lining manhole or lining sewers for $80 a foot.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
Not
lot of
about
new
me,
tech
sorry.
related to lining.
Well, this is from ART from last fall, so
Okay.
earlier this
So,
spring, I'm sorry.
yeah, $80 a foot.
No, we don't even
is
have
certainly
it.
better than
Yeah.
digging it up.
Yes, yes.
okay.
Yeah, eventually we're gonna need to, basically put coding, in the CIP for future years to, to get this all done, but we're gonna need to know what our lines are like before we can, plan that out.
Yeah, that's true.
How long have we used M&K?
Well, we have some decent records of most of the lines that exist right now, so and we can kind of, that's where you're asking me just like kind of lay out
Right.
a roadmap, that's where I would start even before the SSES, because we, as part of the SOC.
A SOC grant,
we-
yes.
We categorized, we summarized all those PACP codes, so we kind of know right already, so it's just a matter of.
Updating things.
Yeah, yeah, and like, if,
So we pick all of the worst PC codes for this time around next.
We already did have a PAPC for the SAW grant.
right, but that was about 2/3 of the system, not the whole.
Okay. But again, like, how long have we used M&K, and are we using them because they're part of Dexter?
Well,
Or-
no, Brandon, we asked F&B for a quote and
I
Brandon,
attempted,
he tried.
no
a lot.
success.
Yeah, I think it was a staffing issue or something. It ended up
Something.
being- Yeah, and then, are there other companies?
Yeah, there's
There-
other companies.
There are other companies.
Should we try for quotes from them, from other companies? Go,
I'm just curious, I mean,
M&K did the SAW program. Prior to that, I think they had Corby Energy doing it.
Okay.
I don't know that Corby Energy does it anymore.
not a fan of Corby anyway.
Right.
I mean, I've worked with them, they've done some.
Well, I
okay stuff,
guess I
but
say
don't
that,
know
I'm not
about-
sure, or maybe there was like a UIS, or it's not this UIS, but it's like a.
I don't know.
There's a few companies that do it. I'm just curious how long we've had them and,
The
you know,
David
have we
Software
bid them
program
out
was 17.
forever, or are we just using?
It's the
them?
last few years that M&K has really kind of taken over the local area
Yes,
as, as the cheapest bidder.
Okay.
Plus they got the trucks and they do after hours.
Almost all of them do after hours.
Yeah, but
Usually.
some places are far harder to get after hours than others.
Well, it's the no job too big, no fee too big mantra.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and no matter what, you get after hours or overtime from them, so. I just wanna know when we started using them, and did we bid it or did we just choose them? And
I don't know.
yes, we did, one of the two. I don't know.
okay,
I think we bid out. We did a few SAW programs at the same time. I think we bid out one and negotiated another one. I don't know which one is which anymore. I apologize.
it's okay,
It was before last week, so I'm at a disadvantage.
yeah, and I'm
Okay.
trying to remember who we used for SIO here.
It's probably M&K, knowing they basically cornered the market. in this
Yes, they
area.
have. For, if you want a cable router, the Michigan Power Routing's at the top of the heap for that.
Okay, well,
So is there much more for me here? I got a 4 o'clock football game.
Yeah, that's right.
Playing football, I just playing it.
The generator water plant, we've already talked about.
We have 4 o'clock, just move.
Well, it's 3:35, you know.
Okay.
Get set up.
I think she's gotta go too though, so.
Yeah.
Thanks. The one thing I wanted to point out, doing the CIP that you attached in the agenda.
Yeah.
That's the one that shows the water tower work being 210,000.
Well, this is. Oh, wait, why is this 2024?
I don't know, but the numbers for 2026 budget for the water tower was 210,000. Which is more than the 150 and more than the one that did it too, so I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. Well, I don't know where this came from, but because Jake, is it Jake? I thought he. Well, okay, so,
I think it was on my list to contact Colleen to make sure we had it, so.
yeah, could you do that, please? And then for the next meeting, we'll make sure.
I mean, it's, if there's more there, it's better.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, so maybe we do the water plant generator too.
I don't know why. Okay. All right, all right, we'll talk about the water plant generator at the next ops meeting. Oh, and before you leave, so the board or Colleen Coogan, you know, when she did our budget, she budgeted, and again, this has to be approved by the board for you know, pay for the board members, but then also for operations. And then she suggested that we meet once a month for operations, just to keep things on track. And as you may know, that Ted, Brandon and I have been meeting weekly, not every week. Andrea was part of that for a while. So just to, we just touch base and make sure that things are moving forward. We don't make any decisions because what we do talk about is already on the table. However, with everything that we are, you know, trying to come up to speed with LASA, they felt that it was better that we meet once a month for operations, and if that's okay with you. This still needs to have board approval, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's been monthly in the past, as Neil pointed out.
Yeah, way back in the past, I don't
Yes.
know.
You're right.
And it's, you know, having every 3 months for operations
It's
is
just too long.
yeah,
That's fine with me.
okay. And Brandon, I think you said that was good too. Okay,
I agree with that.
I mean, is there gonna be like a Thursday afternoon type of thing like this?
I think we should-
that Fridays are, you guys aren't officially working Friday, right?
So they're not officially working Friday.
Sorry.
The regular township people are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Thursdays have worked out for us, if you wanna just keep it the same, so if we do
I like Thursdays.
Thursdays at 1 would be better.
1 o'clock, okay,
I think it's.
Instead of our ops, our like check-in meeting, we could do it, just replace it with that.
I like that idea as well.
okay,
A little bit earlier would help me as well.
yeah, and then we're not getting chased out of the room too, by the next
Chase
meeting,
myself
so,
up like it
yeah.
was.
But
Hey,
thanks, Ted,
good luck
have
with
a good
games.
time. Yes, once a month. And if we could just make it the same Thursday every month, then we'll figure that out later.
On approval of the board.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, that was sewer and cleaning, televising. Valve turning, would that go?
Okay, Brandon said that they, that F&B decided that is not fitting on valve turning at the moment. I got a coworker at Dexter who is willing to test turning valves, for $10 each, but he doesn't have insurance, so you'd have to, basically give them the right to, break valves, during test turning. And anytime, if you're restarting a valve turning program, you're gonna be breaking valves.
Oh, yeah, and, well, we would still need to have a plan, though, like
Right,
which
yes,
section.
you'd start with the ones that on Dan Ehrlich's map that are good. Start with those first and work, and make sure those are all working. And then you look at your maps and figure out, what sections you got where you have the big holes are.
The big what?
Because, yeah, have you seen the map that Dave Ehrlich left for valve? for
I have
valves?
not.
Yeah. Anyways, there's been a lot of, there are valves that are listed on the map that, says that they work, and there are other ones saying don't use, and there's other ones that say was replaced on this date. And
I mean, it sounds like we need to do a little bit more research before we embark on this.
Well, I know that, right, but it's after the fire on Prospect and they turn the valve and
and they
it,
busted, yeah.
yeah, so we need to have some type of plan, but
You can work out of this problem. But you generally start with the ones, that work first. And then you expand into the areas where, you really want that valve, but you don't know if it's gonna work or not. And then you try it out.
Prioritize
Prioritize the list.
Yes.
the working ones at the bottom, the critical ones.
Several,
I have a
it's-
map that I can
it's
share.
right?
yeah,
I have it, that we know certain ones that we've used, and with things like that, and well, the newer subs are, in that list of ones that will more than likely work. So we kind of prioritize those. That's part of what I started with the valve turning proposal for you guys, and I can certainly share this map with you.
okay.
And
Mike.
we've probably only have one 8-inch valve in stock and one 6-inch.
I'd
On
have to
hand.
look, but I don't
But
think we
so
have
that's
any.
part of the plan is you wanna have a.
You gotta have
three or
replacement
something,
valves, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
would want to order those replacement valves.
Yep.
But once we got working, we have a stock of working valves, then we can go to directional flushing for hydrants, which will be better. Cause right now, I looked at your spreadsheet, there are 7 rusty water complaints this spring.
Mhm.
And with directional flushing, we maybe get one an entire year. Cause it works so much better.
But we can't do that until we have.
You have to have working valves to do it. It is one of the things that directional flushing is cheaper and is faster. But you have to have a working valve system to do it.
You have to have working hydrants for
And
sure.
you have to have working hydrants. So,
All right, well. I think this is a good plan. I mean, at least to begin. It's just gonna save us a lot of headaches and other.
well, it's gonna be a pain in the meantime to get there. This is gonna hurt.
Brandon, with the ones that you guys have operated, have you found any mixed valves, i.e. ones that open right and ones that open left? Have there been any, or have they all been one direction?
They're all one direction.
Okay,
You're asking me now, and now I'm not. There's no way I'm going to remember which way. They're They're like a normal valve. They're not like, backwards ones.
well, every municipality has different standards, so they could have open lefts or open rights. I'm
Yeah.
just curious if they were installed kind of at different times and there could be mistakes made or not, specs followed up on, so. didn't know
Not
if
saying
there was,
that is a possibility.
Sure is, yeah. Okay, but you haven't seen any that you recall?
No.
Okay,
I'm learning something new every conversation. It's a lot more complicated, but it's fascinating.
it's not as clean cut as you think.
Say you break a valve by turning it the wrong way.
Yeah.
You thought it was the right way, but
You think that it's bound and it's not, you're actually snapping it.
All right, so let's we'll begin with the map.
Right.
And if, Brandon, do you have that map that Andrea's talking about?
I got that map from, Ted, if he doesn't have it.
Okay.
I don't know if I have that one. I have the one that we kind of put together for valve turning for kind of our plan.
I can send you the one I got from Ted and
That
we
would
can
be-
have the same one.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, good. Then Andrea, if anything else with valve turning?
I think we're running out of time, so how about we delay this the next time?
Well, I was just gonna go over your,
Right, yeah, what I wrote was basically what I just talked about.
yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah,
And
Big thing too is we have to put it in the budget for contingency for breakage. Just to make sure we have that and we have the okay for everything all set, but
right,
when they get broke, they're gonna be replaced up to a certain amount of valves and then we stop.
then you stop, yep, and then the next year you do it again.
Right, but we've gotta clear the budget for that. Get an
Yeah,
idea.
all right, well, there's also, okay, we covered upcoming projects. There's policies, that, and Jeff and I will be meeting to, create some type of sewer backup policy. We have a lot of information. Thank you, everybody, for contributing. And we're gonna go through that and come up with something for LASA. And of course, we'll bring it to the operations committee. And then once we have approved it, it'll go to the board for approval.
Okay.
Another thing, communication and website. We have 3 different website pages. And if there's some way we can consolidate, I don't know how we're gonna do that, but, and I know we're having some changes with, billing, SIO taking over billing, and so that LASA billing page will possibly be migrated. But if we could have, maybe a subcommittee or,
Yeah, make sure they're all the same,
yeah,
same information, or at least,
Budget for web developer to maintain.
it would probably SIO. I mean, we're just right now with
That-
volunteers.
Cause you got IT people that can,
Well, we had.
the LAIA website, I'm just doing that page and I'm just doing it, blogging style.
Yeah, and
yeah,
then,
it's not up, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's extremely basic.
especially, if you would wanna, like you said, coordinate, if you wanna have more than one, I know like Alpine wants to have their website with some information,
absolutely, yeah.
but then if there's a change here, you gotta kind of follow the steps and make sure you update there.
We could have just the basic, emergency numbers and then everything else. Here's a link and here's a list of what would be on that link or something. We could
Or
figure it
Send
out.
them over there.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain 3 different
Yes.
and. But we can get there. I'm gonna keep it on the agenda so we don't lose track of it. And then we have a lot of things that we're doing, so.
Right.
And if there's anything else that you can think of that would help LASA run better, communication, whatever, please, send it to me and we'll put it into our agenda packets. I'm the chair of the road advisory committee for SIO, and what I have created is, we have a task action list, and we just put everything in there, even if it's like yearly, we have to do our schedule, so we put that in, and we always keep, that way everybody has it, and we're always keeping track. And, when something's complete, we put it in big red to, it's kind of a feel-good thing, but we could do the same thing for LASA as well, if
Okay.
you're open to that.
All right, so is it time for public comments?
Can I
Oh,
got
yeah.
one quick thing that I just remembered. We had a call that went through the call center for a gentleman had called about, apparently they purchased a piece of property on Midway Drive and they're looking at building and they wanted to make sure that we had water and sewer available. And there is water and sewer in that area. So just kind of wanted to, I mean, we've got the Whitman Circle, and then it looks like the 2 lots up off of Joy Road. Those look like those are going to get built, and it looks like they're going to try to build another house or something. So
Are those part of Loch Alpine, those 2 lots on the corner of Joy?
Yes. Yeah,
They
there's
are?
actually already there's curb boxes already there and I don't know, well, the sewer runs up behind the lot, but
Yeah.
that's already there for him. So,
Huh.
yeah, because Michael actually, I think today sent him over the tap fees. So,
When was the last time the tap fees were reviewed? I know it's.
It was
rare.
last year.
It was last year, okay, good. I text our Brandon McNeil, our utility director, and Pipeline Management does our cleaning and TVing. So it's another company.
They get bids from.
There's some people.
Yeah. Okay,
awesome.
well, all right, public comments, and that we still don't have an audience. I guess we're just so popular here, but let's see if there's anybody online. Light is asleep, all right, shoot. Anyone online?
We'll be out of your hair shortly.
Yeah.
Just,
Okay. Anyone online that would like to speak during public comments, please raise your hand. Oh, I guess that, okay.
Move to adjourn.
At 3:51,
Just wait for it to get down.
thanks. Did you get that?
yeah.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Non-motion passes. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brandon.
See you later.
I do plan on coming to visit.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to come see things.
Yeah, Colt's there's usually about 7 to about noon, about 8 to noon. So he's running around there. Just look for his F&V truck.
Okay.
Or let me know ahead of time and I'll make sure he's there.
All right, I'll get in
Great.
touch. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. All right, let me turn this on. Don't have a conversation while I record.
What?
Don't give out your credit card number.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I was gonna ask him,
what
like,
that,
I don't think
what's
that's
up with
the
that.
generator. But then it must be to put on
It's supposed to be for the wells.
like 2 of them or 1?
I don't know. How about we set
Ask
it?
that question. too,
Yeah,
'cause that was-
all right.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but you know, that, do the pumps, the motors, are they?
Recording stopped.
EFD.
Okay, not just me.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Let these people.
See you guys. See you.
Scheduled for 4?
Yeah, I think we were. And why can't I?
I just had it till 3, but that's just me on my phone. I'm sure it's not.
Oh, wait, here's the live. You know, I was trained on this once.
Well, thanks for being sanitary.
Yeah, thanks, Andrea.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at taking notes.
Yeah, I know,
Can't
it's
even
gonna
read-
be good notes.
can't even read my own
Yeah,
notes.
but it's gonna be, you know,
Yeah.
there'll be notes.
Cover
I don't want to.
So people can, you know, edit it later.
Eh,
Just doing this.
all right.
Your help.
Let's see here.
How are things with Lhasa?